Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today I want to talk a little bit about something that's just not being reported, and that is these kidnappings off the streets of Portland. Let me pull up some articles here. But essentially, there are this unmarked, yeah, the Washington Post. They've got a video here. It was like being preyed upon. Portland protesters say federal officers in unmarked vehicles. They arrested them. In unmarked vans are just taking them off the streets, arresting them. This scares me, honestly. It's very reminiscent of the Gestapo, the SS, the way they were taking Jewish people in the 1930s. And where these protesters are being taken to, we don't even know. Federal officers are using unmarked cars to arrest Portland protesters. This is from The Guardian. According to reports, peaceful protesters have been detained with no warning or explanation since at least the 14th of July. Since the 14th. That is what has been happening, people. They have been taking these protesters off the streets in unmarked vehicles. Portland mayor demands removal of camouflage clad agents detaining protesters. Activists in Portland, Oregon are expressing severe alarm about recent incidents involving federal law enforcement officers using unmarked cars to detain peaceful protesters. And this is not in some small thing. This is The Guardian. It's one of the largest. It's normally a UK paper, but it also does worldwide stuff. Yeah, why this isn't being seen as national news, I have no clue. It baffles me. This should be on the nightly news every night. First story. Who are these people? Why are they taking protesters? This, is very Nazi-esque. Let me find something else here. See if I can find more articles on it for you. Oh, goodness. Yeah, there's a video by John Idarola in the Damage Report about the protesters being kidnapped and shoved into unmarked vans. Here's an article from Salon.com. They're kidnapping people. Trump's secret police snatch Portland protesters into unmarked vans. Trump is weaponizing DHS as his own occupying army to provoke violence, Oregon Senator Ron Wyden says. And the picture's text says, police confront demonstrators as Black Lives Matter supporters demonstrate in Portland, Oregon on the 4th of July 2020 for the 38th day in a row at Portland's Justice Center and throughout Portland, with a riot declared about 12:20 a.m. on the 5th of July. CS tear gas and less lethal weapons were used and multiple arrests made. Democratic leaders in Oregon called on the Trump administration to withdraw federal forces from Portland after footage emerged, and it's still coming out, of camouflaged federal officers snatching protesters off the streets and detaining them in unmarked vans. Officers from the U.S. Marshals Special Operations Group and Customs and Border Protection's Border Patrol Tactical Unit have been deployed to protect federal property in Portland amid ongoing protests since the 14th of July, according to Oregon Public Broadcasting. But the officials have also detained protesters who were not near federal property, the outlet reported, and it is unclear if all the detained individuals were involved in alleged criminal activity. One viral video showed two silent camouflaged officers lead a protester into an unmarked minivan as fellow protesters shout that they're kidnapping people. Authoritarian governments, not democratic republics, send unmarked authorities after protesters, Senator Jeff Merkley, a Democrat of Oregon, retweeted. These Trump bar tactics designed to eliminate any accountability are absolutely unacceptable in America and must end. The officers were dispatched as part of President Donald Trump's executive order to protect American memorials, monuments, and statues amid ongoing protests in cities like Portland. We've done a great job in Portland, Trump said Monday during a White House event. Portland was totally out of control and they went in, and I guess they have many people right now in jail. We very much quelled it, and if it starts again, we'll quell it again very easily. It's not hard to do if you know what you're doing. Instead, escalating tensions with demonstrators, the president's decision has actually had the opposite effect. The Washington Post reported federal officers have tear gassed protesters despite a state law which prohibits chemical irritants from being used on demonstrations. On Saturday, federal agents shot a man in the face with non-lethal munitions, fracturing his skull. A peaceful protester in Portland was shot in the head by one of Donald Trump's secret police, Senator Ron Wyden, a Democrat of Oregon, wrote on Twitter. Now Trump and acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf are weaponizing the Department of Homeland Security as their own occupying army to provoke violence on the streets of my hometown because they think it plays well with the right-wing media. Wolf visited the city Thursday to tour a federal courthouse vandalized with graffiti. It's time that we take a stand. It's time that local leaders here publicly condemn what violent anarchists are doing. Only then will local police, federal police, get this under control, he later said in an interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity. Earlier this week, I called the mayor and the governor. I offered DHS support to locally address the situation in Portland. Their only response was, please pack up and go home. They're just not going to have. That's just not going to happen on my watch. So yeah, they are just coming in and taking people right off the street. And a lot of the times it appears that these people are not even in the midst of a crime. It's just because they feel the need to take them in. But you can find articles like this all over the internet. I mean, we are in the stages of a proto fascist regime. Honestly, if you do not see this, if you do not understand this, I don't know what to tell you. But this is not normal. This is not how you defend freedom. This is not freedom. This is, you know, fascism at its worst. It just troubles me severely. But anyway, there's articles by the Telegraph, the Washington Post. Like I said, I read that one by Salon.com, the Guardian. There's videos if you look for it on the internet. But yeah. Anyway, I just, that's all I wanted to really talk about today is this horrible thing, and this ain't even including the wars he's kept us in, putting Latin American people in cages, even if they're just coming here seeking asylum or help. or the fact that you know he's just really torn this country to shreds. He is not a good president. I don't see how anyone thinks he is. Only thing there's maybe two or three things I agree he's done with that's good. TPP, which that was when he first came in, fine. You knocked that out of the way, good. We didn't need to be a part of that. Um, withdraw from Syria. We needed to withdraw in a better way. But I still think we're actually there in Syria. I don't think we even fully withdrawed. It's just, yeah. Anything else he's done has been just divisive and sickening. But anyway, as always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. If anyone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, later.